So after our last interview, you went to a medium, aka a person that is more in tune with the spirit world, and you said you were able to speak with Chino. Can you talk about that experience and what was said? It seemed really emotional from watching the video.
I did an interview with another company yesterday and talked about it and like started to tear up talking about it because I had never been to a medium before, never considered going. It was recommended to me. The woman was highly recommended. And, they like interview you up front to know like who are you trying to summon? Tell me some background. So I get there, I tell her I want to speak to my friend Chi. When I sit down and Chino doesn't come like in the room. It's my grandma. It was my mom's mom, and Chino loved my mom's mom. Chino like made a post wishing me a happy birthday one time and saying like, Matt's grandma is my favorite person in the world, and um, so my grandma came to talk to me first, and that of course had my emotions running wild. Then my grandma brought tea into the room like they were together. Um, Made reference to like other people that were very like prominent in my lifetime that have passed that, everyone's proud of me and good. But the shit that hit me the hardest was, like saying like, don't stop what you're doing. I understand that it's gruesome. I understand that it's ugly. And like, people are really dragging you and running you through the ringer, but like you are doing everything I'd want you to do. Um, I couldn't have asked for a better person to like hold it down for my family. Like, there's people I thought were always going to be there for me and would be there for my family and time of my demise that have been dead fucking silent. So you do whatever the fuck you have to do. And that's why there was a time where the medium told me to turn the camera off because it just got like, it was kind of like Chino and I were mirroring each other. Like, I don't want to, I don't feel like bashing anyone right now, but just like, just keep doing what the fuck you're doing. I heard that the family announced an album. When I say family, the Steina side that operates the Chino XL Instagram, that they announced an album on the 1 year anniversary of his passing. Do you know about this?
No.
Okay, I haven't seen it either because I'm blocked and I've just been staying away from all that shit. But someone told me that they announced an album called like Requiem for a King, and I can tell you that that's not something we were working on. Like Darkness in Our Colors is a real thing. The Madlib and Oh No record is a real thing. The Map of Bones was a previously recorded album, unreleased album. The Canibus Chino album, the real thing. The God's Carpenter 2 is a real thing. So, I when I was at the memoriam the other day with like Bella and Lyric and their moms and other friends and stuff, I've only ever wanted to get out the material that she left for the world as he left it. I didn't touch anything. We didn't edit shit. This is how he left it, with the exception of us having to change the sample on Sailing from the Map of Bones record because Dinah tried to have us sued. And I'm like, dude, I'm not spending another fucking dollar after everything I've done. Especially when the profits are for the girls. I'm like, if I have to spend 10 grand to clear a sample, that's 10 grand less than the girls get for the album sales. So I'm not doing it. We'll just change the beat out. Fuck it. But we weren't working on an album called Requiem for a King. So I know this is like a 50 Cent executive produced Pop Smoke album where you're just putting features to fill in blanks of shit. And I'm really intrigued to see what Chino verses they're using because I mean, if I'll be dead honest. If there's a single one of the verses on there that I own, I'm shutting that shit down. I know that people are going to be having that common complaint. Like, and it's just because when people like Stu Bangers wrote, like, hey, I need my sessions for these songs or I want my money back, they were like, fuck you, we're giving you nothing. When Art Geschwind, who owned the rights to the Canibus Chino album, asked for the sessions or his money back, they gave him nothing. So it's like, I'm afraid that they're just going through the hard drive and picking verses they want with no considerations to actually who owns what. Because remember, like we discussed in the first part of this interview, they're like, well, the law is that in his passing, we own it all, which is not the law at all. So I'm really praying that they used verses from Chino that are actually theirs to use and can make some money for themselves. Like, great, give the world a good record, but I'm not interested in making any Chino records that weren't part of our life plan when he was here.
Posthumous albums are always really controversial. It's kind of like the Tupac effect, right? Where there was a lot of decisions that were made. Fans felt like Tupac would never do that. You know, like he would never have agreed to this. And in a way, it kind of taints the person's legacy, because then like the art piece is like being judged as if it was put out the way they intended, and it wasn't, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's always a difficult thing to do. But on the fan side, they're like, oh, we want more music. But it's like, you know, it's kind of hard.
You know, someone said to me, they're like, was the Ascension that, you know, we put out this 3-disc Ascension pack, and disc 1 was called Ascension. Disc 2 was Map of Bones, and disc 3 was Darkness Our Colors. For people, we did that because, you know, a lot of people didn't buy Darkness. It didn't matter that I do interviews and say Chino said this was his best, most personal body of work. Lots of people bought Map of Bones. In fact, all the CDs sold out. There's still vinyls left, and I believe some cassette tapes. So what I did with Ascension, and it has an insert in the case with like 4 or 5 of albums and EPs that Chino was actually working on in his lifetime. So the Ascension pack is I licensed 7 songs from 7 different rights holders to basically show you, here's examples of the music he was working on from these various projects.
To take it back to the Medium, right? Prior to you going to see the Medium, did you believe in that kind of stuff, or were you like doubtful that that was a real thing?
No, I believe in it because for years when Chino was alive, I saw a psychic, and it was a wild, wild experience for me because literally, like, over the course of 2 years, I probably went like 30 sometimes. The woman met me and charged me for the initial meeting and never charged me again.
Wow.
So I went for 2 years, and she was just like, I have this bond with you. There was a couple times where she's like, I want you to purchase like this kind of plant to put in this temple, or I want you to purchase this stone to assist you in like your aura. But literally for years, it was just like everything she said was going to happen. Like, you're going to encounter this lawsuit, or you're going to experience this loss. You're going to experience this certain career highs, and would be very specific about it. All these things happened.
That's crazy, man.
So when the Medium was recommended, I was totally like, okay, I'm with it.
Did you feel drained after that session?
Oh, dude, I had bawled my eyes out for 45 minutes. So I went and got a bite to eat with a friend afterwards and went home, and I think I passed out for the night.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm pretty sure you slept good.
Yeah.